Peace and blessings, beautiful souls. It is wonderful to be with you this afternoon. Welcome to Positivity is the Key. I am one of your hosts, Jeannie Muhammad, and I'm here with Regina Huchins. And our objective today is to be able to say something that will help someone on their journey into living a more peaceful and a more positive life, because that's what we want to impart today, is how positivity is a key to finding your happiness. I am Jeannie Muhammad, your happiness coach, and my co-host today. And I'm so excited about co-hosting with her.
I I am so excited to be with you, Jeannie. And I'm just glad this is something we can do and collaborate together and just make people happy and be positive.
Yes,
You
yes.
got to make lemonade out of lemons.
Oh, okay. Tell me something about you,
Well,
Regina.
my name is Regina Huchins. I spent 30 years in the human services, social services field. I am the founder and owner of Huchins Consulting and Services. I am a care management specialist. I help individuals with disabilities, special needs, and seniors remain in their home with dignity and resources. It's
Oh,
about living a quality life and feeling empowered to do so.
oh, that sounds wonderful. I am a life coach, a life and happiness coach. And some people may say, "Well, what does the two of you really, have that connects you?" And the thing that I see that connects the two of us is that in your profession as
Care
helping
manager.
and care management, that to do that effectively, it involves a positive attitude.
Yes, you have to have a positive attitude and you have to believe that the outcome that you're trying to achieve with a support, that if you get support, you can get results. And it has to be positive support. People believe like you do. People that's going to run the race with you. And
Right,
that's what it's all about.
right, right. And see, that's one thing that I am really and truly learning on my leg of this journey, is how important it is to surround yourself with people that have that positive mindset. That
Yes, I agree with that, Jeannie. Because if you do not surround your people surround yourself with people that has a positive mindset, you can actually go in a different direction. You can actually have a double mind. You don't know which way to go,
oh,
and then you get lost in the sauce.
that is so true. That is so true. One thing that I am learning as I travel through my life is that if you're around people with a negative mindset and you're the only one that's striving to have a positive mind, then eventually all those people around you is going to affect you.
Yeah,
And
you actually get sucked up in that,
yes,
into the chaos. And not
yes,
only chaos, but you start feeling like you don't have a purpose, you don't have a sense of intent, you don't have goals in mind. You're not living life. You're just going through life.
right, right.
So, do you actually want to live life or do you just want to function?
Oh, that's a good point. Living and function, because I always talk about the fact that there are a lot of people that are walking around, and I say the living dead.
That's what it is. They're just existing.
Yes, and
And you don't have to live like that.
no, that's the
You
beauty of
don't have
it.
to live like that. I mean, even just taking myself, for a long time, I was just around the wrong people. I knew what I wanted to do in life. But at the same time, once I got around people of like mindedness, the same values, the same mission, the same purpose, and driven like myself, not
Right.
only I saw that's where my healing began, but I saw
Oh,
my transformation begin.
yes, yes.
And I
Uh,
started out living my best life. You
oh,
are
oh,
who you hang with. Trust
oh,
me.
go ahead. Go ahead. See, um, in this season in my life, I have met so many wonderful people that are adding value to my life. You
Mm.
being one of them, Regina. You
You
have
too,
added,
Jeannie, in my life.
you have added. I'm learning from you, even though you say, "Well, I want to learn how to do this and I want to learn how to do that," and I'm saying, I look at your mindset, and uh, that's what I want to talk about. What helps you?
I didn't get there by myself.
Okay.
I can remember, like I had to leave my job. That was for one thing because it was a
Hmm.
toxic, hostile work environment.
Yes, ma'am.
Even though I was told by God to leave my job many times, I kept
Okay.
hearing from my boss, "Oh, do you really want to do that?" I was carrying out their agenda, but I wasn't happy.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
then finally, I stepped out there. They saying, "Well, we're not." In so many ways, they say I'm not going to support you because it was like, we. She talked to me for 45 minutes, and finally, I just said, "This is what I got to do." So I
Yes,
left
ma'am.
with nothing.
Oh,
Just a card saying, "Well, thank you for what you gave the agency. We appreciate the last 15 years. Thank you for all the ideas, your work ethics, and all of that." I didn't leave out there with no money, no check, no nothing. So even though I was looking for the right coaches, I bumped into the wrong people.
okay. Okay.
And I told you, I was my mind was just totally in chaos and a
Okay.
desperate spirit, just looking to be around the right people. But
Right.
honest to God, once I found the best mindset coach, and I'm talking about Mr. Tommy Durrell out there, and
Yes.
I'm talking about Mr. Sean Hill of the Coach's Corner, that
Yes.
is where the transformation began.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Yes,
that's where the
ma'am.
healing began,
Yes.
personally and professionally. And
Yes.
now I don't even feel like there is nothing I can't do. So,
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen out there, I'm going to tell you, once you get the right people around you, there's nothing you can't do.
that's right.
And that's
That's
what I try to instill in people still living at home, want to live at home and don't want to go to an institution. I'm
right.
going to put together a plan that makes it work for them to live
Right.
at home because
Right.
I want them to experience life to the fullest
Yes, ma'am.
extent.
Oh, that's a beautiful attitude. You know,
It's
I
all about mindset, Jeannie.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is. And I want to say this, it's so beautiful that you gave that shout out to Tommy and the Coach's Corner, because sometimes we reach a certain point in our lives and we don't want to acknowledge the people that got us to the point where we are today. And that's why I want to say that my focus in helping my clients to reach that point of happiness started with my enrolling in a course called well, not exactly enrolling, but participating in a course called self-examination,
Oh, wow.
self-improvement, self-improvement,
Hmm.
the basis for community development, that was developed by Minister Farrakhan. And I started on
Mm.
that course, and it talks about self-examination,
Wow.
self-analysis,
Wow.
self-correction, and
Woo.
developing in our minds that self-accusing spirit to the point where our minds are developed so that we can start challenging in ourselves and reflecting on who we are and doing that. And that's what I want to emphasize. One of the things I want to emphasize
Wow. So
today.
when did you start that, Jeannie?
Oh, it's been almost 30 years ago
Really?
that
Good.
I started.
No.
It's a process.
It's
That's
a process? Okay.
It's it's a process with all of us, because sometimes we start in a process, but we will abort the process before we reach our goals. Because once you start on a self-examination and you start examining yourself,
Mm-hmm.
uh, sometimes you're not gonna, most of the time, you're not gonna like what you see.
Wow.
And but once you find that and you start working on it, because knowledge means nothing unless it's put into action, you
Okay.
know. So once you start that, and that's what I want to encourage everyone to do, to start on that journey of self-examination, isn't it,
Yes.
Regina?
And you have to be truthful with yourself while you're going through the
Ma'am.
process.
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
embrace the truth about yourself? Do
Yes,
you have the willingness to change some things within yourself?
yes, ma'am.
And if
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
willing to do that, the sky is the limit.
Yes, ma'am. And see, and that's why I say it's a process, because um where I was when I first entered into the process, oh man, that's where my books come from. That's where
Okay.
I have written my books about the process of coming from a domestic violence uh abused person, drug and alcohol user, to
Wow.
coming to a point where I could start to love myself and see. And when we start to love ourselves, that's one thing that that process of falling in love with yourself, self love. I mean, and that's a process, because you don't
I
start.
think it's a lifelong process.
Yes, it is.
It's a
Yes, it
lifelong
is.
process.
It is a lifelong process, because um, we're constantly going to be challenged in our lives. You know how you can say, well, today I'm going to be positive. Today I'm not going to, you wake up saying your positive affirmations. You wake
Hmm.
up with that, and then something will happen. It's like that.
I'm talking about something traumatic too.
Right. Something
Something
will,
out of nowhere that you wasn't even expecting.
that's right. And then you have to say, okay, now, uh, I have to get back in that frame of mind and not let whatever has happened throw me off track to the point where
Hmm.
I wallow in whatever it is that's happened. See, that's a process. Positivity, it you don't just develop it overnight. It's like a
No,
muscle.
no, it's
It's
a
like a muscle.
process.
Yeah, it's a process. You have to train yourself. You have
Yes.
to develop those habits that will help you to stay in that frame of mind. And that's what I'm so excited about our program, Sister Regina, is because we have an opportunity to share what life has blessed us to learn.
Yes, yes. And I'm very fortunate. I feel like, wow, I can appreciate it now at this point. I don't think I could appreciate it earlier in life.
Yes, ma'am. That I say, always say the same thing.
Wow.
I a lot of times I'll think back, oh, if I had only thought like this when I was younger, look at all the time that I would, But then I also reflect on, I would not be the person I am today
Yes.
if I had not
Had
experienced.
those experiences.
Yes, and I love who I am today.
Me
I,
too. Me too.
that's
I can
right.
appreciate the lessons learned as well as the triumphs.
That's right. And that's I feel that God has led us through those trials and those tribulations to be where we are today, so that we can qualify. We're qualified to help others now. We life has qualified us, in addition to
Yes.
all the formal training that we have received, in addition to all the certifications that I have received. I life,
Life give you the experience to be able to help other people
right? I have a
and get
PhD.
and pass your wisdom on.
Yes, isn't that a blessing?
Yes, it
Isn't that
is.
wonderful? I have written down some key points that I wanted to make.
Okay,
Not
I'm anxious to hear them
Yeah,
myself.
well, you hit up on one that's really important about being honest with ourselves.
You have to be honest with yourself because how can you go to the next level if you're lying to yourself?
That's right. That's right.
You have to be transparent and live it in truth.
Yes, that is so true. And see, and that's one. And you would think it would be easy, but sometimes that's one of the hardest things. in life is to face who we really are.
Mm.
See, when I was going through all of the domestic abuse,
Mm-hmm.
I had to stop at a point in my life and say, wait a minute, now let me look at this. I am attracting all these abusers into my life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is it about me that is attracting these people? It's like I had written on my forehead.
I totally get it because I've been through that too.
It was, I was like, they must see me and say, oh, so I had to look, I had to start really examining myself and say, what is it about me that I have to take responsibility for what is in me that they
Mm-hmm.
see? And that's when I started realizing that I did not love myself, that I did not
Yes.
value myself. And so I had to start on that journey of loving myself, valuing myself, and not allowing anybody to see me as someone that they could take advantage of. You
And
know,
not only that, Jeannie, you got to be okay with being by yourself as you go through the process
yes, yes,
of
yes,
loving yourself.
yes,
You have
yes.
to know who you are before you can attach yourself to someone else.
That's right. And in fact, that's why we have a lot of failed relationships, is because when we're in that healing process
Mm.
and we're trying to go, we're just going to go to someone else and bring all that baggage with us.
Yes.
And then we wonder, why are we having problems? We're having problems because we have not healed or even gotten to the process, because healing is a process. You know,
Mm-hmm.
healing is, and I feel like I'm going to be healing until the day I leave this earth. And
Mm.
there's always things that happen that I will revisit. But you made a wonderful point. Be okay with being alone.
Yes.
Be okay with you. Well, see, I say you're never alone because it's me and God. It's
Yes.
always me
Yes.
and God.
Amen to that.
And it's me and God. And as long as
Mm-hmm.
I have that relationship, I was fine. And in fact, I'm going to say this. Uh, when I was going through the process after I stopped, after I became celibate, and I just said,
I hear you.
I said, and I'm alone. And people would be like, oh, you need a man in your life. You need a man in your life. You need a man in your life. And I would say, well, I have a man in my life.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
he's a beautiful, wonderful man. His name is God. And he's the best man I could have in
I
my life.
hear you. I
I
hear you.
mean,
I'm right
I
with
don't have to
you.
be. He don't abuse me. I said, and I can share him with everybody.
I know that's right.
He's gonna be as good to everybody else as he is to me. So, and until that process, and so, but I don't want to leave it there, because he blessed me with a wonderful husband.
I
I
know that's right. I
I
know
now
that's right.
I now have a wonderful husband that appreciates me for who I am and allowed me to be me. So I've just been talking, Sister Regina.
It was
So
about you taking time out for yourself, and
yes,
and that's what that's about. It's okay to be alone
it is. It is.
because you know what? I'd rather be alone than getting what's not right for me. It's
That's
the same way
right.
when I was looking for coaching, had bad coaching. Once I
Right.
got great coaching, a standard has been set, and
That's
I am
true.
not accepting anything less. Any coach that demonstrate anything less is out.
That's wonderful. That's
Sean
wonderful.
Hill and Tommy Durrell has set the tone for excellent coaching and standards in coaching. So guess what? Everybody else, if you can't meet those standards, you're out. So,
That's
and
right.
that's the same way with me when someday I get a husband. There's
That's
certain standards that's going to be set because of what I feel as though I deserve and
that's
won't accept anything less than that.
that's right. And
I'm
that's
not
what.
looking for perfection, Jeannie,
Yeah.
but I'm looking for somebody of like mindedness and
Yeah.
has some of the same values and some of the same things I like. But
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
not putting up with any abuse tendency. I can tell you that in my
Yes,
last phase
ma'am.
of life.
Yes, ma'am. And you know what? That is so wonderful because you said that about you're not looking for perfection,
No, I'm not,
and that's
because
just
nobody's
nobody's perfect.
perfected. No.
And you're going you but you have to look at a balance, you know.
Hmm.
Do their good qualities outweigh what may be you see that may not be what you would say is the best thing, because some things are not even worth worrying about, you
Right.
know.
Absolutely.
I'll,
The small stuff. Don't
I'll,
sweat the small stuff.
that's it. That's it. There
If
are
that person treats you nice and, you know, care about you above all things
that's right.
underneath God, that
That's right.
you got
That's
everything.
right.
And if he fears God or she fears God, you
Oh,
got
you
something
saying
wonderful. Because
you,
guess what? They're not going to try to harm you
that's right.
because they have a fear
Uh,
towards something higher than themselves.
and they respect you. They
Hmm.
respect you as a woman and understand that you are one of God's most precious creatures. I mean, and that the whole world comes through the woman. I mean, there's not a human being that is on this earth that did not come through a woman. Look at
So
how
true. So
look
true.
look at how valuable we are. Look at how valuable we are. And so that is one of the things that I learned in my period of being by myself, that it was okay for me to be alone. Is I love myself. And while we in that, I wanted to mention uh I have a journal. It's called a self-love report.
Oh, nice.
That yes, and it's about how to love yourself. And anyone that
Mm.
is interested in getting the report is free. You can go to my send me an email at Jeannie JeAnne at IamJeannieM.com. It's strolling down at the bottom of our screen.
Okay, audience, get on top of that.
Right. And it's a free
Let's learn
self-love
how to
report.
love ourselves even more. Even though we love
Yes,
ourselves, even more. Let's get some more
yes,
knowledge about loving ourselves.
yeah, right. Because
Let's fall
we
in love with us. You can't go wrong there.
right. And the thing is, uh, once you learn to love yourself, then you can really truly love others. Because see, that's what to me is all about in having this positive mindset, is
Yes.
knowing that love is an action word. And what are our actions towards other people? If we're not treating ourselves with love, we really don't know how to treat others properly in saying I love you, because I can say I love you and I can feel that emotion that I equate with love. But how am I treating you? How am I treating you?
Yes.
Am
Yes.
I treating you in a loving way? Am I being good to you? Am I trying uplifting you? Or am I doing things to bring you down? So
Hmm.
action is love is an action word. And so if you would like to get my self-love report, as I
Hmm.
said, it is free. Please email me at Jeannie at IamJeannieM.com.
Okay, let's
Yes,
look, audience. Let's get on top of that.
yes, ma'am.
Knowledge is power. Power is
Yes,
knowledge. Okay.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Uh, Before we go, I want to do say this as a final thought, um and I want you to have some final thoughts also, Regina. My final thoughts is as we go into 2022,
Mm.
you know, a lot of times we make New Year's resolutions,
Yes.
but we make them on January 1st, and by January 2nd or 3rd, they're out the window.
True.
So I say this year, let's reflect. Let's start reflecting today about where we are now in our lives, thinking about the things that we learned from 2021, and reflect on what we learn, reflect on what we don't want to take with us into 2022, reflect on the positive things that we want to take with us into 2022. Reflect, reflection, really thinking about and doing that examination and looking at where we are and where we want to be. And I think that that would be a wonderful way to start 2022 in a positive way, knowing that we don't know how much time is promised to us, but
Mm.
we know we have this moment right now that we can strive to be better. And I want to thank also Sean Hill and Tommy Durrell of the Coaches Corner.
Me too.
They have been a blessing in my life in 2021, and I don't want to forget where I have come from. I also want to thank Lisa Santiago McNeil and
Uh,
her husband Brian McNeil. I don't even have words for what how they have helped me to develop to the point where I am today. Lisa Santiago McNeil is my publisher, and she has been invaluable in my life. I also want to thank uh, Kiever Lenice Murdoch. She has the Kiever's Place, the Kiever Murdoch show and podcast. And she's my producer for my show that I produce the first of each month called Inner Peace and Serenity, a
I
spiritual
like that.
journey. Yes, and I thank these people because they have helped me so much in 2021, and I want to take what they have given me and take it into 2022 and be able to help others with what they have given me. I don't want to. I still want to embrace them. Don't act like that's the end. I want to be right there in the coach's corner. I want to be with Lisa Santiago McNeil and Brian McNeil on the empowerment duo. And yes, yes. And I want to be with Kiever on Kiever's Place next year. And that's where I want to be.
You putting it out there, Jeannie.
Yes, and
That's
let me
right. That's
say,
what you gotta do.
and let me say this with the Coaches Corner. I want to give the times that they're on because I want people really to
Yes,
know and
yes.
be a part of this community because it's all about
Because
love.
these guys are really the real deal. They
Yes,
really want to help people if they
yes,
want to be helped. If you want to level up your business as an
yes,
entrepreneur, and if you start getting around those type of individuals, I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna go far in life.
yes,
And
yes,
honestly, I put myself on the mindset coach calendar, Tommy Durrell first. Then I actually heard from Sean Hill first.
uh-huh.
And once I got my mind right, I started working on that LinkedIn profile. Let me tell you, you do not want to be without these two guys.
Yes,
Brian McNeil was also my confidence sales confidence coach. I thank him for the first session that I got. I did learn a lot, actually
yes,
two sessions. So I did learn a lot about
yes,
confidence. So I'm very, very lucky to be a part of the Coaches Corner and a network that knows a whole bunch of people and a network
yes,
worth of people. They came with their own resources and network. And
yes.
I'm just so proud. I can't even afford to be without Tommy and Sean. Not at all.
Okay, that's wonderful. The Coaches
And that's
Corner.
pretty much my final thought. And
Okay.
actually, Janine, I'm looking forward to us doing this show 8 p.m. Eastern time every Tuesday night after the New Year's start. You better be on this.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And I just want to give the times for the Coaches Corner.
Oh,
The Coaches
yes.
Corner is on Monday through Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern
Eastern
Standard
time.
Time, and that's Monday through Saturday. Now on Sundays they are on an hour earlier, 9 a.m.
I
Central
think
Standard Time
y-
and 10 a.m. Eastern Standard,
yes.
and that's on
And the
Sunday.
mountain time is before the central time. So you can always
Okay,
go back an hour, guys.
okay, okay, but that those are and then for
They
the
really on 7 days a week.
they're on 7 days a week. Hey,
Yes.
listen, Regina, I was thinking about them. I said they called James Brown the hardest working man in show business. I said Tommy and Sean, they're the hardest working men on LinkedIn.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
Tommy is up at 2 in the morning posting and working
oh my
in the
God,
lab. And Sean
yes,
is too.
yes, ma'am. And then I want to for the empowerment duo, Lisa Santiago McNeil and Brian McNeil. They're on at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and so I don't want you to miss them. Keever's Place, she's on every Thursday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, and she always have wonderful guests. So I want to
And
encourage
I
every
think Brian has a story time.
yeah,
There's a
Papa.
moral to the
Yeah,
story every,
yeah, he
I
talking
think
about
it's Sunday
Papa.
through Thursday.
Yes,
Brian McNeil.
yes. So I encourage everyone to
It's a
partake
moral
of
to all his stories.
yes, beautiful. He's a wonderful storyteller. So with that, it has been wonderful being with everyone. I would look forward to seeing everyone back with us uh every Tuesday evening.
Starting January 4th,
Right.
2022
Yes, ma'am.
at 8 p.m.
Positive.
Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time.
Okay.
And I believe it's 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Okay. Thank you. Positivity is the key.
Okay.
So don't forget it. Take it with you into 2022. Okay. Until then, until we see each other again, please stay safe and stay blessed. And until we meet again, thank you.
Bye bye. Happy New Year's.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.